Far out. This stability is crazy. I love it. VR, rock solid. So this video, we are chasing the fog. Let's go. Here we are on beautiful Point Ormond, and it was an extremely foggy morning this morning. And if you've ever looked back at some of my back catalogue, I absolutely love fog. I've been shooting in the fog for 30 years now. Even so, the fog has lifted a little bit. If we look out to the city, I'll show you, it's looking like this. There's still a little bit of that fog left. In this video, I want to talk about fog and the fact that shooting in the fog is a lot of fun, and there's a lot of beautiful photographic things that come from the light being different. So let's talk about the light. So the very first thing it does is it diffuses it. So when there's heavier fog than right now, there's no direct light source. It's just like being inside a giant softbox. It completely changes the way the world looks, and that's exciting because we don't get fog that often, which means we're mainly shooting in completely different lighting conditions. So shooting in the fog looks different. Another thing that I love that the fog does is it creates a sense of depth, and of course, photography is a flat medium. For me, one of the most important goals from a flat medium is creating depth. And what we have by the way of fog is the contrast decreases as we get further away. So I love that sense of depth that fog creates. So in Melbourne town, I loved the fog and photographed the fog so much at the start of my career that after about 10 years, I was known as the fog guy. And at the time, it was the early 90s. Everyone was shooting in color, and I really enjoyed shooting in black and white and shooting the grainy, gritty fog and making it very atmospheric. But some of my most famous images from that era are black and white and fog. So what sort of gear, what are the conditions, what's the technicalities of shooting in fog? Well, often fog comes in pre-dawn, so it's a low light scenario. If the fog is heavy, you're actually still in a low light scenario even if the sun's up because it's behind a kilometre of cloud. These days, with being able to shoot at 800, 1600 on modern cameras with just no problems, it's pretty much something that you don't have to worry about, as long as you've got lenses with fairly fast apertures. So you'd want to have a minimum of an f4 probably. Otherwise, if you're shooting in the low light of fog, you're going to need a tripod. So can be handheld if you've got semi-pro gear, or a tripod, but it is a low light scenario to begin with. The other thing that I love about fog is you can't have fog if you have wind, which means it's such a perfect, peaceful, serene day. There are no waves. Like, that is like a sheet of glass. So fog means peaceful, gentle, lovely. No waves. I'll take a photo of no waves. So one of my favorite things about photographing in fog is that usually it's freezing cold. It's got to be something like 5 degrees or less, and here where I live, that's very cold for us. So often in the fog there is nobody around, and so you have the world to yourself, and that's always lots of fun. Again, that creates a completely different scenario, and it's a little bit ghostly and it's a little bit interesting. But if you're just looking for a different way to take your shots, get out on that freezing cold morning, or if you live in a hot country, go on a holiday somewhere cold. Fog is just the most amazing thing. So come on, go shoot some fog.